Hi students, my name is Satyam, lecturer in Computer Science and Applications, Government Degree College for Women's, Jagityal. Today's topic is Functions in Python Language, Part 1. So, today we will discuss about the function concepts available in the Python language. So, this is the syllabus of Unit 2 actually. So, it is a very lengthy topic. So, today we will discuss some fundamental concepts on the functions in the Python language. So, the Python functions are classified into majorly two types. Number one, user defined functions. Number two, built-in functions. That means in the Python language, the functions are classified into two types. So that is user defined functions. The user defined functions are also called as programmer defined functions. That means according to the requirement of the programmer can construct the functions. Then the type of functions are called as user defined functions or programmer defined functions. Then second type is built-in functions. So the built-in functions are also called as built-in methods or built-in modulos of Python language. So like that the built-in modules or built-in methods or built-in functions, whatever it may be the name. So this type of functions are built by the software itself and provided to the user according to the requirement of the program. So the programmer can directly use this type of functions. Then that functions are called as built-in functions. So like that the Python language provide two types of functions. Number one, user defined functions. Number two, built-in functions. So today's class we will discuss about what is the importance of functions and what are the importance of user defined functions, and we will discuss the first concept of user defined functions in the Python language. Next class we will discuss about remaining concepts of user defined functions and some built-in models, that means built-in modules in the Python language. Okay, now introduction to functions. What is the importance of functions in the Python language? What is the concept of functions in the Python language? That is discussed on this topic, that is introduction to functions. So a function is a group of statements that exist with a program for the purpose of performing a specific task. Okay, in this 3 lines definition, observe two keywords, two important words. A function is a group of statements. The first group of statement is the first keyword in the definition, that exists within a program for the purpose of performing a specific task. So this is the specific task is a second keyword. Using these two words, we will understand the functions concept. So a function is a group of statements. What is the meaning of group of statements? So the combination of two or more statements clubbed together under a particular block, that means wrapped together under a particular concept, then that type of statements are called as grouping of statements in the Python. So a function means a function is a group of statements. That means it may contain one or more statements, okay, in that group. So what is the use of this group of statements? What is the purpose of this group of statements? What task can done this group of statement is important. So the group of statement that exist within a program, that means so the group of statements are also available in the Python program only for the purpose of performing a specific task in the program. For example, if you write a arithmetical operation Python program. Then there are some functions are there, adding, so subtraction or mul or div, whatever it may be the function name. So each function will perform each task for the specific task. That means adding function will perform adding operation, mul function will perform multiplication operation, div function will perform division operation, like that. Okay, so a function is a group of statement that exists within a program for the purpose of performing a specific task. So that means the function will perform a specific task. Most programs perform tasks that are large enough to be broken down into several subtasks. Generally, a big program is there. That means a lengthy program is there. So the lengthy program is, coding is not easy, and to manage the variables and the behavior of that much of lengthy program is complicated. So that's why it is divided into several subtasks. Okay, so in our life also, for example, if you go to the entrance examination, then what will happen? You cannot study total chapters at a time. So you have to divide total syllabus into the chapter wise, and each chapter contain it separate meaning and separate purpose. So with the help of a timetable, you will read the chapter wise, then only you will complete your syllabus for entrance examination. Same just like that, if the program contain a lengthy or it is a big task, okay, so that big task is divided into a small tasks, okay, that is called as several subtasks. Okay, for this reason programmers usually break down their program into small manageable pieces known as functions. So the programmer, to easily code the program, so the program is divided into, breakdown into a small manageable pieces. That pieces is known as the functions. So that is the importance of the functions in the Python language. So then a function is a group of statement that exists within a program for a purpose of performing a specific task. Okay, already we discussed. Instead of writing a large program as one long sequence of statement, it can be written as several small functions, each one performing a specific part. So continuously in a single heading, okay, you have to write lengthy of the program. So while you are writing that lengthy of the program, okay, so the managing of variables and the managing of control or the managing of task may be confused or maybe difficult. So that's why you have to convert the lengthy of the program into a small functions. So for each small function can perform a specific work in the program. So like that the functions are used in the Python language. Okay, so these small functions can be executed in the desired order to perform overall task. So these small functions, that means the parts of the several parts of the program, that means small functions. So these functions are clubbed or managed or executed in a desired manner. So according to the requirement of the program, according to the requirement of the specifications of the user, okay, you have to serialize the functions into a sequential manner, okay, in a ordered manner, okay. So the ordered manner will perform overall task of the user, okay. Like that, the functions are collected together and ready to ready to execute in the sequential manner. That means in the desired manner to do the overall task in the program. So this approach is sometimes called divide and conquer policy, okay. So with the help of this concept what we have discussed till now, that is comes under to the Britishers policy, divide and conquer policy, okay. So with the help of divide and conquer policy, the Britishers are ruled 200 years, about 200 years Indians. So same just like that, with easy manner, same just like that, a big task can be divided into small pieces, that means into the functions, that functions are executed in a desired manner, then you will get overall task execution. So this methodology is generally say that divide and conquer sequence, okay, divide and conquer policy, okay. Using this divide and conquer, because a large task is divided into several small tasks that are easily performed, that are easily executed by the Python, okay. Like that, the functions are very useful concept in the Python language, okay. Now benefits of using functions, next topic. So till now we discuss about the introduction about the functions. Now second topic is benefits of using functions. So in this topic, the first benefit is simpler code, okay. So a programmer code tends to be simpler and easier to understand when it is broken down into functions. Several small functions are much easier to read than one long sequence of statements. So that means, what is the meaning of this definition? The writing of functions are simpler code using a programmer code tends to be simpler and easier to understand, okay. So with the help of this functions concept, okay, the program or the programmer or user, whatever it may be, the person, so you can easily understand, okay. So with the help of this function coding technology, so it is comes under to the simpler coding, okay. So several small functions are much easy to read than one long sequence of statement. This is very important topic in this concept. Several small functions are much easier to read than one long sequence of statements. That means if a program contain some 1000 lines, to read and understand 1000 lines at a time is a difficulty, but 1000 lines program is divided into some 100 lines, 10 functions, then that 10 functions are different purpose, so different subtasks. So to understand that subtask and to read, to understand that small coding is very easy. So that's why the function will gives the concept of simpler coding. So several small functions are much easier to read than one long sequence of statements, okay. So like that, the simpler code are applicable in the functions concept, okay. Then comes to code reuse. This is a very important concept of functions. So not only in the Python but also each language, okay, each high level language. Code reuse, okay. Actually before discussing about this code reuse, okay, so what is the concept of time consumption. Okay, so the time consumption means unnecessarily we are wasting the programmer's time, the designer's time, okay, in a project. So then what will happen? The time consumption problem will be produced. With the concept of, with the problem of time consumption problem, then what will happen? The resources are wasted. So if the resources are wasted in the software industry, then what will happen? The financial benefits are lost. If the financial benefits are lost, then what will happen? So the economy also will be lost to the society. So one more thing is, so the project or the developing program become very late. So if the late delivery, that means late product, software product delivery is occurred, then the benefits which are we will get, okay, that will be lost for some time. Okay, like that so many problems are occurred while we are using, so writing of the same code again and again and again. Okay, so for that purpose, so the function concept simply will remove all these types of problems, so with the code reusable concept. Okay, so when the function once created, okay, so once it is defined, that can be used any number of times in the program, and that function may be used in other programs also. Okay, so that is the concept of code reusability. So with the help of functions concept, the code reusable concept, the code reusable method is 100% implemented in the program. Okay, now functions also reduce the duplication of code within a program. So what is the meaning of duplication code? Writing the same information again and again and again is called as duplication of code. Okay, already we will discuss what the problems are occurred with the help of this duplication of coding. Okay, so if a specific operation is performed in several spaces, okay, a specific operation is performed in the several places in a program, a function can be written once, okay, to perform the operation and then be executed any number of times. That means, so in a big project, okay, one concept, that is adding of variables, adding of particular entered data is occurred in some 10 or 20 times in the big program. Okay, you have to code that 20 times or 30 times. Okay, unnecessarily, that is duplication coding. Okay, so with the help of a function concept, simply you will write a function. So that function name is adding of two numbers. So that can be used once you written that function, that subtask in a program, that can be used any number of times, 100 times, 200 times, whatever it may be, n number of times. Okay, in the Python program, in the a big and lengthy program. So once to perform that operation, then be executed any number of times if you needed. Once you have created the function can be used any number of times you needed in the Python programming. So the code reusable is the biggest benefit with the help of this functions concept. So each high level language available in the software market is supports this functions concept because of this code reusable characteristic. Okay, now comes to better testing. Okay, when each task within a program is contained in its own function, testing and debugging becomes simpler. Programmer can test each function in a program individually to determine whether it correctly performs its operation. This makes it easier to isolate and fix the errors. Okay, for example, if you write a lengthy program in the concept of functions, so each function contain a group of statements. So with the help of that group of statement, it perform a specific task. Okay, so the finding of errors is very easy with the specific function, and to solve the errors, to rectify the errors of that function is also very easy. So better testing is available in the functions concept. So if you write a particular program or particular concept without using function, so it will become as a very lengthy programming. So the lengthy programming contain the lengthy statements. So to determine or to test which line is getting error while it is executing by Python is very difficult. So the better testing, the better resolving of the errors is possible with the help of functions concept. Okay, next, faster development. Okay, already in the second concept, code reusable concept only, I will discuss about faster development. So why? Because the function is ready to reuse once it is constructed, that is reusable number of times, so if required in the program. So then what will happen? The development of a function is very fast. So the development of that program or project is very fast. Then to get the benefits from that project is become very fast manner. Okay, so like that the fast development is occurred in this functions concept. So suppose a programmer or a team of programmers is developing multiple programs. They discovered that each of the program perform several common tasks, okay, such as asking for a username and a password, displaying the current time, and so on. Okay, it does not make sense to write the code for these tasks multiple times. Instead of, functions can be written for the commonly needed tasks. Okay, and those functions can be incorporated into each program that needs them. Okay, means, so in the software development, so many programmers parallelly they are developing multiple programs. So the multiple programs contain the common tasks, okay, for each program. So the common tasks are developed once, then with the help of the permissions from the other programmer, simply he can use that fundamental programmings, the fundamental tasks of program into another programs also by the different programmers. So that's why here, then what will happen? The development of software is very fast. So the functions are play the key role to fast development of a software project. Okay, like that these are the different benefits are available with the help of concept of functions. Okay, now we will discuss about next topic, that is function names. So in this topic we will discuss about how you can give the function names, how you can implement function names to the user defined functions. Okay, so same just like that, while you are declaring the variable names, the programmer must follow the some rules and regulations which is defined by the software. Okay, so Python software, same just like that, while you are giving the function names to the function, user defined function, so the Python gives some rules and regulations. So with the help of that rules and regulations, you have to declare the function names, the user defined function names. Okay, now we will discuss about the what are the rules. Okay, a function name should be described enough so that anyone reading your code can reasonably guess, okay, what the function does. Okay, so generally while we are declaring the function name, so the function name indicates, okay, to the user what this function will do. Simply he can guess. For example, in the C language, sqrt function is there. So sqrt, square root. Okay, so the function will perform the square root operation. So easily the programmer can guess. Okay, so like that you have to give the function names that is in the manner of easy guess what that function can do in the program. So in that manner only you have to give the function names. Then Python requires that you follow the same rules that you follow when naming the variables. So while you are giving the variable name, so what rules are implemented, that same rules are implemented to function name also. Okay, so that is first rule is you cannot use Python's keywords as a function name. Okay, so the Python keywords are the special words which are defined by the Python software. So it have a specific task, specific meaning in the program. So that's why you cannot use that keywords as a function name. That is the first rule. Then the second rule is a function name cannot contain a spaces. Okay, so if you give the name of the function, the name of the function may contain 2 or more words also, but with that within the 2 or more words, the function name cannot accept the space. Okay, so if you want to give 2 or more words to the function name, simply club that words with the help of underscore symbol. Okay, so that means no spaces are allowed in the function name to declaring the function name. Okay, next third rule, the first character must be one of the letter, that is small a to small z or capital A to capital Z or underscore. So with the help of underscore or small a to small z or capital A to capital Z, the first character must be start as a function name. Okay, except these three. Okay, no other character is allowed as first character only, first character of the function name. So after declaring the first character, you may give any character to the function name. Okay, that is the fourth rule. After the first character, you may use letters, okay, digits or special symbols, okay, whatever it may be, to the function name concept. Okay, so like that the function names must be given to the user defined functions. Okay, like that the Python will define these type of rules while you are declaring a function name. Okay, now comes to the defining and calling of a void user defined function. Okay, so till now we will discuss about what is the concept of functions, what is the importance of functions, and how to declare the function names, all these topics. Okay, so generally the Python functions are classified into two types. Number one, user defined function, that is also called as programmer defined functions. Number two, built-in functions. Okay, so today's class we are discussing about the programmer defined functions. So what is the meaning of programmer defined functions? Already we discussed. According to the requirement of the programmer can construct in his own way, okay, in his own way to build the functions. So that type of functions are called as user defined functions or programmer defined functions. Okay, right. So defining and calling a void function means in this topic. So actually the user defined functions are classified into some more types. That means 3 types majorly. First one is the user defined function is have the concept of void concept. So void concept means the function will not return any arguments to the caller function. After completion of the execution, a user defined function cannot return any values. So that type of functions is called as void functions. Okay, then second type of functions are value returning functions. Okay, third type of functions are argument passing functions. So like that the Python programmer defined functions are available in the different manners. So today's class we will discuss about defining a function with the concept of void function. Okay, so that means after execution, after completion of the execution, a user defined function cannot return anything from that function. Then that type of user defined functions are called as the UDF with void concept. Okay, now a function is a group of statement that exist within a program for the purpose of performing a specific task. Already we discussed in the definition. To create a function, you write its definition. Okay, to create the function, you should write its definition. Here is the general format of function definition in the Python like this. Okay, so if this function cannot return values, okay, after completion of the execution, so in the definition also there is no return concept. Okay, there is no return concept. That means by default it is called as void concept. Okay, void means cannot return nothing, cannot return nothing after completion of the execution. So here observe the syntax of the function UDF function. So here write the keyword as def, then give the space, then mention the function name. Okay, so with the empty parenthesis means so it cannot take arguments into the function. Okay, so then use the colon. Okay, so the colon indicates the following group of statements are become as a block of this function. Okay, after colon you have to write statement 1, statement 2 dash 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 n number of statements. Okay, like that the UDF user defined functions are defined in the Python. Okay, now observe this syntax very carefully, then I will explain. So some depth manner the UDF function definition. So it contains 2 parts. This is the first part and remaining block is called as the second part. Okay, now the first line is known as the function header. Okay, the first line is known as the function header. It makes the beginning of the function definition. Okay, it defines the meaning, beginning of the function definition. The function header begins with the keyword def followed by the name of the function, then followed by the set of parentheses followed by a colon. Okay, like that it is defined. Then beginning at the next line is a set of statement known as block. The following lines are is called as the group of statements are called as the block. Okay, a block is simply set of statements that belongs together as a group. These statements are performed anytime the function is executed. Okay, so notice in the general format that all of the statements in the block are indented. This indentation is required because the Python interpreter uses it to tell whether the block begins and ends. Okay, so what is the meaning of this definition? Simple. Okay, so here the first line is indicate the heading of the UDF, ending of the function. Then the following lines are called as the statement 1, statement 2 dash 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 statement n. So these lines are called as okay a block, that means a group of statements. Okay, so while you are declaring this block, okay, you have to follow the indent method. Why? Because indent method means so if you click space bar, so then for first statement, then the following statements also you have to click the space bar only. That means so if you give some two spaces before each statement, so with the help of space bar, so you have to give so that spaces with the help of space bar only. So if you want to if you give the space with the help of tab key in the keyboard for the first statement, then the following lines also give the tab space to the following statements. Why? Because if you give first statement spaces with the space bar and second statement spaces with the tabs key, then the compiler, that means then the Python interpreter will getting confused. Okay, so these statements are not maybe, may not be belongs to that particular above function. So in the C, C++ or Java, so simply with the help of open curly brace and close curly brace, we are constructing the block. Okay, so in that situation, there is no confusion occurred to the compilers, okay, or interpreters. But in the Python, there is no concept of creating okay blocks with the help of that curly braces. So you have to follow the indent methodology. Okay, so like that, with the help of spacebar key or tab key, you have to give each and every line spaces to the specified function. Why? Because why we are giving the spaces to each line before beginning? Okay, why? Because this statements are indicates to this specific function only. Okay, that must be declared to the Python interpreter. That concept must be understood by the Python interpreter. That's why each line of the function must contain spaces before the statement beginning. That spaces must be give with the help of tab key or space bar. So for each line of the function, so that is called as indenting methodology of Python language. So with the help of indent methodology, okay, of indentation mechanism of Python language, you should give the function statements. That means you have to construct the user defined functions in the Python language. Okay, now let's look at an example of a function. Keep in mind that this is not a complete program. We will show the entire program just in a moment. So observe simply the concept. Okay, I'm defining a function. The function name is called as message. okay, with the help of def keyword, empty parenthesis and colon symbol. Okay, so all are available in the heading of the function. Then afterwards I am declaring two statements, so that two statements are print statements. So I am some author, then king of Britons. Okay, so whatever it may be the messages, simply that messages, two messages are printed with the help of two print statements. Okay, now this code defines a function named message. Okay, so these two statements are declared under the message function. The message function contain a block with two print statements. Executing the functions will cause these print statements to execute. That means when this message function is called by the particular location, these two lines are executed. Okay, so like that the user defined functions are executed when that function is called in a specific location. So if you construct a function in Python, okay, so that function must be called where the requirement is available. Okay, so where the necessity is there, with the help of calling a function mechanism, that function must be called. Okay, so when that function is called, then automatically the control is moved from that place to the calling function place. Then simply it will execute that function and come back to the main function, come back to the calling position. Okay, next, calling a function. So a function definition specifies what a function does, but it does not cause the function to execute. So the definition simply says what that function will execute, what the function will do the task. Okay, but not the function is executed automatically. So to execute a function, you must call it, okay, with the help of the function name. With the help of typing that function name, that means mentioning the function name, okay, you have to call. So this how we would call the message function. Simply write the message empty parenthesis, then this will be treated as a calling of a user defined function. Then what will happen when this calling occurs in the program, the control will move back to the specific message function and execute the lines available, statements available in the particular function. So when a function is called, the interpreter jumps to the function of message and then executes the statement in its block. So the message statement contain the function contain the message function contain the two lines, so simply the two lines are executed. Okay, when the end of the block is reached, the interpreter jumps back to the part of the program that called the function. So where it is called, after completion of the function execution, again it bring back, that means again it jump back automatically to that calling position of the program, and the program resumes execution at that point. Okay, so where it leaves from that program, again come back to the same place in the program. Okay, like that the user defined function is executed when that function is called. Okay, now with the help of an example, I will explain, I will demonstrate the user defined function. Okay, this program demonstrates a function concept. Okay, so here I am writing the hash symbol, so it will be treated as comment line. First we define a function named message, so this is this line also I put an as a hash symbol. So simply these two lines explain about this the program behavior. Okay, so next leave that two lines, then come to the program. Okay, so the program contain the function, the function contain def, the function name is message with the empty parenthesis and colon. Okay, then the following two lines are belongs to this message function. Okay, now like that I will construct the function. So after constructing the function, simply I'm writing the calling the function. Okay, so what is the meaning of calling of user defined function? Calling of user defined function is nothing but, so simply mentioning the program name, simply mentioning the function name, simply mentioning the function name is called as the calling of the function. So when this name occurred for execution, simply the control will move back to the definition of the function and it will execute 2 lines. After completion of the execution, again it bring back automatically to the calling position of the program. So on output screen, simply it will print the 2 lines. So with the help of 2 printf statements, fill the 2 messages. The 2 messages are printed on your output screen. Okay, so like that, a user defined function is declared in the Python language, and that must be called whenever you have to required, simply with the mentioning of that function name. Okay, you have to call, then the interpreter of the Python language automatically switch back from that position to the specified function. After completion of the execution of the specified function, again it bring back to the same position. So like that, the user defined functions are used in the Python language. So observe carefully here. After completion of the execution of a message function, that means after completion of the execution each and every line of the message function, so there is no value is returning to the calling position. Okay, no value is returning to the calling place. Okay, so that's why this function is called as function with void concept. Function with void concept means if a user defined function will not return anything after completion of the execution, then that type of functions in the Python is called as void concept based functions. Okay, so like that, the basic functions concepts available in the Python language. Okay, now